Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell, coming to you live on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. This is Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, the episode number 15, the 15th episode. Um, as the month continues to wind down in the month of August and get ready for the college football season. This comes up this coming Saturday. But first, we're going to get into some sports headlines. Then we're going to go down the line with what I'm going to be talking about today during this hour of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, which comes on every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Right now, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's get into the top headlines that's going on in the world of sports from today. We're gonna start with the NFL news. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. They signed Creed Humphrey and made him the NFL's highest paid center. He became the highest paid center today. He agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $72 million and guaranteed $50 million. He's 25 years old, second round draft pick, Oklahoma. He became a starter. He has been a side pass protector, so he's getting what he has been uh, rewarded for his great diligence as a great offensive lineman that he's continuing to be to grow and progress in. So in 2023, last year, he ranked second among the NFL's interior offensive linemen in pass block win rate at 98.8%. Ahead of him was his Chiefs teammate Joe Thuney. I'm saying his last name right. So that's a storyline that he's the highest paid center. Again, the offensive line is not a glamorous position, but they do make a difference in pass protection and run blocking. So when you talk about offensive linemen, they're very, very important to an offense. Very important because if the offensive lineman does not block, does not pass protect, and the quarterback can't go back to pass and throw, he doesn't have time to make the throws that he needs, make the reads that he needs to make, and get the ball to the receivers on the outside. So the tight ends, if you will, and run back. So the offensive line is very, very important, and him being signed to this contract is very well deserved for Humphrey to get this kind of contract. His body work speaks for itself of why he's in this position to be the highest paid center at that position. So that's the storyline. The highest paid center in NFL history is Creed Humphrey, 72 million, 4 years. All right, the next in baseball news and headlines, we got the Seattle Mariners. They fired their manager, Scott Servais. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, Servais, uh, due to the American League West slide that they're dealing with right now, the slump that they're playing in and dealing with. They swept, see, yeah, they got swept by the Dodgers. Yeah, they got swept, 3-game sweep, and the team has they lost 8 games in nine games. They lost eight losses in 9 games, excuse me. And the thing about Seattle is that this is one of the epic collapses you're going to see in baseball because they had a 10-game lead in the American League West on June 18th, and now they've gone 13 games under 500, 20 and 33, 4 and 5 games behind the Houston Astros, only 34 games remaining. So that's why he got fired. So you want to see no manager or coach in any sport get fired because they didn't do their job. But this is the reason why he got let go because of Seattle slump. They was riding high, and it's a classic case about it's not how you start the season, how you finish the season. Anything that you do in life, you gotta finish well, and that's what Seattle's not doing right now. They're not finishing the season strong because we in the latter part of August and we go into September. You can't play that kind of baseball in any kind of sport or basketball or football. You gotta be playing at a higher level. And right now, Seattle's not playing good baseball. They're getting swept by the Dodgers. So he got fired, unfortunately. So they also let go hitting coach Jared DeHart. Um, Stuff like that. And also, it comes less than 3 months after they dismissed the offensive coordinator, Brant Brown. Um, so there's a lot of changes being made swiftly as far as Seattle Mariners are concerned. They're letting go people that's not fit for the job, not doing the job well. So you see how they respond. But when you look at this team, they're struggling at the plate. Despite having the best team ERA, they're struggling. They're 5 games out of the playoff spot because their offense is not that good. When you look at their batting average, they're hitting 216. That's last. That's last. The amount of hits that they have in total, 903. That's last. They 28th in OPS, 666. Runs per game, only averaging 3.9 runs per game, 27th. Slugging percentage is 365, 29th. And they're dead last. Strikeouts, 1,308. So their offense has been very, very inconsistent, not effective. And number two is what's reigning supreme with this offensive lineup. They're just not getting it done. They're not getting enough hits. They're not getting quality hits. They're not making things happen to manufacture runs and be productive as an offense and giving the run support that's needed for a team that has the best team in ERA at 3.53. They're not getting that run support when it comes to the pitchers for the Mariners. So that's why all this stuff is happening. So a lot of changes being made. The manager gets fired, and they got swept by the Dodgers, and he's gone. He's out of a job, unfortunately. So that's storyline that. And also in NFL news, the Eagles acquired wide receiver Jahan Dotson from the Commanders. The Washington Commanders trade the 2022 first round pick Jahan Dotson and the 2025 fifth round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a third round pick and two seventh round picks in 2025. So with acquiring Dotson, the Eagles have a secured number three wide receiver to complement Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. The Eagles gonna be great this year. They're gonna be outstanding. With the addition of Saquon Barkley, they're gonna be a dynamic offense even more, man. Look out for the Eagles, man. They definitely gonna be bouncing back, having more of a dynamic offense. Now defense guys step up and do better. But offensively they definitely should be effective and strong and tough to deal with when it comes to their body of work, what they're capable of doing. So as an offense, so that's a big, big move for the Eagles to get a guy of Dotson's caliber. So we got a lot of playmakers, man. I mean, and also we got tight end Dallas there. So they got a lot of weapons at that position. And you look at Dotson, he's very young. He's 24 years old. Had 49 receptions for 418 yards, 4 touchdowns last year. So, but the only thing that's negative is that Dotson did fail to solidify himself as a number two receiver. Obviously, Terry McLaurin this summer. Dotson was used in a variety of spots, but was considered best in the slot in the past. The coach said he needed to improve his play strength to make him more consistent. He has a 7.4 drop percentage last season, 10th highest in the NFL. So he's gone. So now the Commanders have Jameson Crowder, who can play in the slot, and Alameda Zacchaeus. They also added Tavius Bryant and Byron Pringle. College football news: Iowa suspended football coach Kirk Ferentz for recruiting violations. He and John Budmar are suspended for the Hawkeye season opener as part of a school imposed penalty for recruiting violation in late 2022. And you look at Ferenz, he's one of the dean of college coaches in major college football. When you talk about being he's the longest tenured coach in FBS as of right now since 1999. So he's been around for a long time, been coaching Iowa for a long time. And unfortunately, he's dealing with the situation. He admitted to a level two violation for contacting the player and his family prior to him entering the transfer portal. This was a statement today. He said, I frequently tell our players to abide by the rules, and this instance I did not. He said, in 26 years as a head coach at Iowa, more than 4 decades as a coach, this is my first official level two NCAA infraction. We made a mistake and would like to apologize to our players, university leadership, our football fans. I know Coach Budmar echoes those sentiments. Um, Iowa did not identify the player, but sources told ESPN that it was Cade McNamara, who transferred to Iowa from Michigan 3 days after formally entering the transfer portal. So that's the player looks like that was involved in this situation. So they won't be coaching the season opener against Illinois State at Kennett Stadium. So most coaches will return for the rivalry game on September 7th when Iowa plays against Iowa State. So that's a headline right there. Like, let's keep moving. Other headlines: Lincoln Riley. He said he decided Carroll will teach at USC, hopes to utilize ex-coach. Carroll mean that's Pete Carroll. But he's going to be teaching a class at USC this spring. So he's back at USC this time as a teacher. Carroll also discussed with the radio station, I think it was 93.3. Yeah, Sports Radio 93.3 KJR FM on Tuesday that he has been keeping his distance from the team. He discussed with the radio station's future plans, saying he would advise some other clubs, but he's going to be venturing to the classroom at USC. So he'll be joining the teaching staff. Wednesday night, it was confirmed by the school. Okay, so that's it for that. So, what are the headlines? Could it be a quarterback controversy? Obviously, competition, obviously, with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Justin Fields, he leads himself in the first Steelers quarterback called to Tomlin, Mike Tomlin, the coach of Steelers. So none of that's in stone. It seems like, with this competition that's going on between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and we see how he performs well in this preseason. See who's going to be the starting quarterback week 1 of the season. So we see what happens with that. See what else? I think that's basically it for his headlines. Right, let's get some preseason football. We got a couple of NFL games in the preseason going on right now. Uh, First and foremost, we got the Colts and the Bengals. 4:36 to go in the second quarter. Second and 3 on the Indianapolis 45. The Colts have the ball. The game is tied at 7-7. Chicago Bears are playing the Kansas City Chiefs, where the Bears are leading 10-0 with 13:58 to go in the second quarter. The Chiefs have the ball first and 10 at their own 44-yard line. So that's the storyline on that. So preseason's winding down, which is good. We in week 3 of the preseason, so that's great. I think that'd be it, because week 1 is coming up real soon. So it looks like, yeah, all the preseason is going to end pretty soon, very shortly, which is good. We get to the real season, as far as that is concerned. In fact, this may be the last preseason of, yeah, the last preseason game for all the teams. Because I see, preseason week 1, 2, and 3. So it looks like everything's going to be over with this coming Sunday. That'll be the final preseason game. And then the new season starts September 5th when the Chiefs play the Ravens. So this is the last preseason game. Usually, used to be like 4 preseason games. So they're reducing the games in preseason, which is good. Preseason doesn't mean that much. Yes, you're trying to see who's going to earn a roster spot and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, it's all about moving on to the real season and take it from there, as far as that is concerned. So we'll see what happens. Hey man, might be wrong about that. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it'll be the final week. I see week 3. It says week 4. Obviously, August 1st, you had Chicago versus Houston, Hall of Fame game. It says week 4. So either way, the preseason gonna end real soon. So that'll be it, and we get ready for the real season, which would be 2 weeks from today. On Thursday night, Kansas City Chiefs will play Baltimore Ravens. So 2 weeks from today, you're gonna have what you're gonna have. You're gonna have the real season. Can Kansas City make it 3 in a row? Yeah, so that's like that's it, man. It's 3 weeks, and that's it. Done in the preseason. Let's see, let me double check. Let's see, just trying to double check. Yeah, it gotta be August 25th, and everything ends. Yeah, August 8th to August 25th. Well, you can't overlook, August 1st, the Hall of Fame game. Yeah, so that's it. The last preseason week will end this week. That'll be it. Yeah, there's three preseason games. Yeah, see it right here. For the fourth consecutive season, all but two teams will play three preseason games before the regular season kicks off on September 5th. So, yeah, it's going to be only 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So this is the last week. That'll be it. Yeah, 25th. So this week, if you're, trying to get a roster spot, it's definitely an important game. It's the last preseason game of the preseason. So if a person's trying to obviously get on a team, they gotta be at their best. Obviously the starters gonna be they have nothing to prove. So it's all about getting ready for the real season. So it's all about the guys that's trying to get a roster spot, they're fighting for a spot, they're fighting to get on the team. They gotta give their best, they gotta give their A game to make impress the coaches and staff and say, okay, that's the guy that I want on my squad, wherever it is, bring on the practice squad, whatever it is they can do to make that team better. That's where it's at. So we'll see what happens with this week's preseason games. Last preseason week of the preseason, we move on to the real season, which is great. All right, so that's it for that. Let's get to some baseball. I was talking about Seattle Mariners firing the manager. Again, some other baseball news. Give some scores. We got some final scores to go over that. The Pirates beat the Reds 7-0. The Athletics beat the Rays 3-1. The Cubs beat the Tigers 10-2. Cardinals beat the Brewers 3-0. The Nationals beat the Rockies 8-3. Uh, Yankees shut out the Guardians 6-0. And the Braves beat the Phillies. No, the Braves are beating the Phillies rather. The bottom of the eighth, 3-2. The bottom of the eighth. The Astros are beating the Orioles 6-0. At top of the eighth. And the Blue Jays are beating the Angels 5-0. Let's look at the standings real quick. American League East, the Yankees are 75-53. They got their game up over Baltimore 74-54. Boston 67-59. Tampa Bay 64-63. Toronto is 59-68. So that's a big series between the Yankees and the Guardians. That's a big win for the Yankees to win against the Guardians. They were 73-54 with this loss. So Judge hit his 48th home run. Garrett Cole only allowed one hit in 6 innings as they shut him out. And also, Garrett Cole allowed one hit in 6 innings to become the fourth active pitcher to reach 150 career wins. So that's a big milestone for Garrett Cole. So it's a big win for them, for the Yankees. That's a big series. When you look at two first place teams, the Yankees and the Guardians. Minnesota is 2 games out, and Kansas City is 2 games out. They got the same record. You make case Kansas City, Minnesota may be the surprising teams of the league this year, all baseball. Detroit, 62-66, and obviously the White Sox are terrible. They're the worst team in the league, 31-97. And again, no surprise here. The Houston Astros are doing what they usually do. They rolling along. Obviously, they capitalize on the slump that Seattle's having. All the stuff, unfortunately, happening with that organization, with the firing of the head manager. They're 5 games over five games up in the first place, 68-58, 10 games over 500. While Seattle's sitting at 500, 64-64. Texas 59-69. Look like they may not get to postseason. 10 games out. Oakland is 55-73. Angels are 54-73. National League, we got Philadelphia in cruise control, 7 games up over Atlanta, 74-52 record. Mets are 66-61, 8.5 games out. Atlanta 67-59, 67-59. So teams that not going to be able to get that division might as well concede to try and get that wild card. Still anything can happen. But look like Philly gonna win that in the National League East. The Milwaukee Brewers, they're up 10 games, 73 and 54 in cruise control, not a threat. And then you got the American National League West. This is a very interesting division. Dodgers are they won four in a row, 76 and 52, 4 games up over Arizona and San Diego. They got the same record at 72 and 56. So that's a scenario with the baseball. Right, so let's get to the book excerpts. 101 memorable home runs. I've been reading that a lot. I know when I'm gonna finish reading this book. Keep on doing my best to give you the countdown. So we're gonna resume with number 73, Ken Griffey's Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. A Father's Day gift from Jr. So let's get into that. The game that he hit a home run. So he was 17, Ken Griffey at the time, when the Mariners grabbed him. He was the first son of a major league player ever selected with the top choice in the draft. So obviously his father, Ken Griffey Sr., was a three-time All-Star. He was a key cog for the Cincinnati Reds. They were known as a big red machine, um, stuff like that. So let's go into the specific game where he made this milestone, made this impact. Okay, September 14th, 1990, facing California's Kirk McCaskill, Griffey Sr. banged a two-run homer in the first inning. The encore was Jr. rifling a dinger to nearly the same spot at Anaheim Stadium in California, making them the first father and son to hit homers in the same game. So I think that's what it's talking about right there. That Father's Day gift kind of moment on that day. Or it could be when Junior Griffey hit his 500 home run with his father in attendance. That was on Father's Day, June 20th, 2004. They gotta be one of those moments. Right, so keep moving. Right, Ken Griffey Sr. This is number 72. That shows Junior how it's done. Let's go to the matchup. The game that we hit this home run. Yeah, okay, this is September 14th, 1990. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, hit a home run. Okay. All right, number 71, we got Sean Green, sensational slump buster. So gonna get into that. Now, Sean Green was a guy that played with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He had hit 49 home runs, which was a team record at the time in 2001, and gone 24 games, 110 at bats by the Dinger. So it was May 21st, 2002. Green had only three long balls. The week before, he had endured a 0 for 18 drought, which he failed to hit the ball out of the infield. He was booed and benched. His batting average was 231. So fast forward to when he hit the home run. Let's see, what game was that? Had to be against Milwaukee Brewers, May 23rd at Menlo Park in Milwaukee. He was 5 for 5 for that on that day. Actually, he hit 4 home runs in this game. Yep. He was the 14th major leaguer to hit 4 home runs in a game on a 1-1 pitch count. 1-1. The count was 1-1. He hit a home run. So also he established a record for total bases in a game with 19, breaking the mark of 18 by Joe Adcock of the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee Braves on July 31st, 1954. Also, he joined Gil Hodges as the only other Dodger to hit 4 home runs in a game. So his average went from 231 to 265. That's what that's the moment right there. Also, he was the fourth player in history to have both a three-run homer game and four homer game. He retired with 2008 with 328 career homers. Yeah, that's the moment right there. What he did against Milwaukee. Right, number 70, Alfonso Sariano, the one that should have been a winner. Yeah, this has got to go. Yeah, the seventh game in 2001, top of the eighth. Yeah, he was 25 at the time. He rifled a low and away, split fingered fastball to left field seats to put the Yankees ahead 2-1. Also, he had the biggest, heaviest bat, 34 and a half ounces. I think that's the home run they talk about. I think that's what they're talking about in that moment. Right, number 69, Stan Musial. Stan, the man's All Star Game winner. I think Scully, Hall of Fame broadcaster, once said that how good was Stan Musial? He was good enough to take your breath away. Obviously, his body work speaks for itself. We talk about Stan Musial, first baseman, outfielder, um, playing his 12th All Star game at the time. See what year was this? Maybe it was July 12th, 1955. Let's see. All Star game. Let's see, let's get into where it's at. Okay, the game winner, extra innings, 5-5. Then off the 12th, you hit 317 in All Star games. So you had a pitch, a drive to right field that wasn't going to land the right field of play. It was gone. So yeah, that's the moment right there. All right, number 68, Tony Cana Canilario, the comeback kid. I think this is the guy that had the I think the black eye, I believe. I believe so. I think that's that. Yeah, your blood was pouring out of his nose, his face. See, yeah, yeah. California Angels pitcher Jack Hamilton's fastball hit Tony C's head. It was a squish like a tomato or melon hitting the ground. Yeah, hit him. He was hitting the head with the pitch. He had like a black eye or something. Yeah, fracture of his left cheekbone, discolored jaw, cracked orbital, orbital, orbital bone, and cast in his left eye. There was also severe damage to the retina of the left eye. Then he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when this happened. You see me double check when that happened. When he had that, that hit, got hit in the eye. Double check. Yeah, yeah, he was on cover of Sports Illustrated. This is back in. Is this a gruesome injury to his eye? He's on cover back in 1970. Mm, very gruesome. I see the picture. Saw the picture. Yeah, so that was a big story at that time. But anyway, let's look at the home run that he hit that stands out while he was on the list. That's why he's on the list for a reason. So trying to see what's going on with that. Let's see. So he hit 2 home runs in that pennant-winning season, both off of Cy Young Award winners Mike Cueller of Baltimore and Vida Blue. I know that's what they talking about as far as that home run is concerned. Okay, in the 10th inning, okay, he made his Red Sox line in 1969, so it was on opening day. He was in the lineup against the Orioles in Baltimore, batting fifth, playing right field. He received a long ovation from the crowd in Baltimore. He struck out in his first at bat. In the 10th inning, Tony C drove a ball over everything and left for a two-run homer off of left-hander Pete Richard. So I think that's what it's about, him being a comeback player of the year because he hit 20 home runs, 82 RBIs driven in. He's the American League comeback player of the year. In 1970, he hit 36 home runs, drove in 116 RBIs. So that's probably one of the home runs that got to be the main home run. Unfortunately, he only lived to see 45. He passed away at age 45. Unfortunately. All right, Jackie Robinson, the shot that preceded the shot heard around the world. He's at number 67. Interesting, Jackie Robinson. Let's get into that moment. Okay, in the 14th inning against future Hall of Famer Robin Roberts. See, Robinson had saved the season. He was against the Philadelphia Phillies. So he's batting cleanup in a lineup that included Duke Snyder, Roy Campanella, and Gil Hodges, and whopped a towering home run to the fading light at Shad Park. So the Dodgers won 9-8, and I think that's the home run that they're talking about. Was that is concerned, I believe. As far as home runs are concerned. By what I see, I think so. All right, Call Yastrzemski, number 66. It's called Yastrzemski, the new Ted Williams. They call him Yaz. See, I'm trying to figure out. Let's figure out what home run that he hit that was memorable. What was that? Trying to see. What is it? What game was it? Let's see. It says that Yaz hit homers off of Danny McClain on May 14th. He hit a homer in his next to last at bat and tipped his cap to Stanky when he rounded third. He hit 9 home runs in 96 at bats. That's a 67 season. Guys hit 417. So I guess that's what they're talking about. The amount of home runs that he hit, not like a specific game, but like the kind of home runs he hit. He hit 44 home runs, drove in 121 RBIs, won his second of 3 batting championships with a 326 batting average. He carried the Red Sox to their first pennant since 1946. So I guess they're talking about the home runs that he hit. You know, he was the American League MVP. They did lose in '67 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Um, he was 10 for 25 in that World Series with 3 home runs. He's the American League MVP, Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. He would be the first player to record more than 3,000 hits and belt more than 400 home runs in a career. At number 65, it's going to be the last one. Tino Martinez Series Heroics. I think this is a 2001 game, World Series. Maybe it could have been the grand slam that he hit against the Padres in '98. He hit some clutch home runs. It was coming up big. For Mark Langston, he hit a home run to the upper deck. Then 2001, I think this is the game right here because they was losing 3-1. Vernon Young Kim, he was on the mound for Arizona Diamondbacks. He had 19 saves, averaging over a strikeout in an inning. So he had a interesting sidearm delivery. So this is the game I think what it is. So Martinez studied Kim's pitches and delivery. He said that I just saw a fastball slider, so I went up there in that situation and was looking for a fastball, something over the plate to try to drive out. So he hit the first pitch from Kim, a fastball deep to center field, and the Arizona outfield Steve Finley tried to climb the wall and couldn't get it. He was far gone. So that's what it's all about. That's the heroics right there. What he did in that game against Arizona. I think that's the heroics. And you can include what he did against the Padres in that grand slam. Just I think the base was low at the time. Yeah, base was low. Took a 2-2 pitch and hit it out. All right. All right, that's it. I'll resume with number 64 next time when I'm in this book. All right, so that's it for that. So let's quickly get into college football. We got college football coming up next week. I mean, this coming Saturday, actually. It's coming Saturday. We got um, college football, Florida State against Georgia Tech. So let's get into that. The Florida State Seminoles against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. So let's get into college football season preview. I give you my picks of the week for week 0 and do the understated in sports history in August 22nd. And that'd be it for the show. So let's get into this college football season, man. It's going to be kicking off this coming Saturday. And one of the standout games is not a sexy game, not an intriguing game, but Florida State, number 10 team in the country, playing Georgia Tech on foreign soil in Dublin, Ireland. So let's get into that, man. It's a new season. Number 10, Florida State at 12 noon. That's going to be on the docket. So it's ready to see college football back. There's a lot of stuff going on with the overview of the season. We look at conference realignment. when you look at um, only that, the playoff expansion of the playoffs, the teams, 12 teams. And that's a big thing right there that you have in this overview of the season. You got a lot going on in this college football season coming up. I think those are two main storylines is the conference realignment because you got the Big Ten. You got teams coming from that used to be in the Pac-12 coming to the Big Ten, like USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, teams like that. They're gonna be playing the Big Ten. Then you got the SEC conference. They're gonna be taking in Texas and Oklahoma. So those two conferences keep your eyes on. That's very intriguing. Is those two conferences, and then when you look at the expansion of the 12 teams from 4 teams to 12 teams. Now you have a level playing field where the top 12 teams are going to be in the postseason competing for a championship. I think what you're going to have, the only negative is that it's pros and cons. Yes, you have more teams that's going to be contending for a championship being the postseason. That's the pro. But the con is the regular season is going to be anticlimactic because, for example, man, if you have Michigan, Ohio State undefeated. They play each other last game of the season. Whoever loses is still not going to be out of the playoff race. So it's not a make or break type of game for either team. If they're undefeated or if they got one loss, two losses, if they stay in that top 12 the majority of the year, they're not going to be hurt by a loss, even if they don't play for their conference championship. So I think from that perspective, I think it's anticlimactic the regular season as a whole. You're going to have some great matchups this year. But the rivalry games, I think, is going to take a lot of juice out of it. It's not going to lose luster. Michigan, Ohio State is one of them. Auburn, Alabama. Let's say Alabama is ranked number 7 in the country with 2 losses, and they lose to a unranked Auburn Tigers team. Lose to them in a close one, like 3 points or something like that at home. Doesn't mean that they're going to be out of it. They're not going to drop out of the top 12. Even with a third loss, if they have 2 losses and they rank number 7 in the country. So these rivalry games, I think, is going to take a hit because of the expansion of the teams being, 12 teams. I think it's going to be really um, anticlimactic. That's the only word I can use when it comes to these rivalry games. Michigan, Ohio State, especially those teams. Those two teams can definitely be undefeated by the time they play each other, or have one loss apiece. Whoever loses that game, they're not out of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They can drop a spot, but they're not going to drop all the way out of the top 12. So I think that's what's going to make these rivalry games very anticlimactic, not that interesting because it don't mean nothing because they're going to be in the playoff anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you can get to the playoffs now that everything's expanded to the 12 teams. You can get to the playoffs with 3 losses, 2 losses, maybe 4 minimum. I don't know about 5 or 6, but if you got 3 losses, you definitely are shooing for a playoff spot. 2 losses, shooing for a playoff spot. Now, obviously, there's going to be some upsets, and teams are going to come up over those teams that loses that was ahead of them. That's definitely going to be the case this year. You're going to have upsets here and there, but maybe Georgia Tech may knock off Florida State. Florida State looking good right now at number 10. But if they handle their business the majority of the season, go undefeated, lose one game, they're still going to be okay because it's such a long season, a lot of football you play. So I just think from that perspective, this season's definitely going to be a great anticipated season. You got coaches that are not going to be coaching no more. Jim Harbaugh, he's in the NFL with the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, Nick Saban left; he resigned. Now you got Kellen DeBoer trying to replace him, coming from Washington. How do he handle placing a legend and one of the great coaches of all time in Nick Saban, and how he handles that high expectation for Alabama? Well, it's going to be a very intriguing season. Um, I really think there's going to be a very intriguing season, very impactful season in terms of the changes that's been made, the landscape of college football. But yes, you can go. You don't have to go undefeated to win a national championship. You don't have to really go for the jugular and win every game. You actually want to play at a high level, but you just don't want to stub your toe late in the season. But either way, if you stay in that top 12 the majority of the season, you're not going to miss a playoff spot. But That's the landscape of that. When you talk about the college football season, when I talk about the college football season, begging pardon, the college football season, from my perspective, I think the team that's going to win the whole thing is Georgia. I think Georgia is on a mission. They should have been in the playoffs last year, despite losing the conference championship game to Alabama. They had a great run. Fell short to Alabama, but I think they should have been in the postseason. They took it all their frustrations out, obviously, on Florida State winning 60-63 in the Orange Bowl, and they should have won it. They should have been in that playoff. Yes, give credit to Alabama. They won 27-24 in the SEC championship game. I mean, 63-3. Excuse me, 63-3 was the final score against Florida State in the Orange Bowl. 63-3, about 60 points. But this team has a lot of talent, and I think they're gonna use motivation even more for not being included in the playoff. And I think now they preseason number one, they're definitely gonna be motivated to get it done this year. They never lose in the regular season. They gotta have a long winning streak in the regular season. It's been a long time since they won it. They definitely lost the postseason in that SEC championship game. But I think it's been a long time since they lost a regular season game. Um, in that sense. And look, 2023 they didn't lose a regular season game. In 2022 they didn't lose a regular season game. So the last time they lost a regular season game, let's double check. You gotta go back to, wow, it's a long time. Very long time. Maybe 2020 against Alabama. And that's the last time they lost a game in the regular season. Excuse me, Florida. 44-28. So we go to 2021 regular season. They handled their business. 2022, they go undefeated. They ain't lose. They didn't lose a regular season game in 2023. So it looks like it's been like 3 years, 4 years since they lost the regular season game. By what I see, only loss is in the conference championship. The last regular season loss looks like was to Florida in 2020. Ever since they have not lost a regular season game since. So that's the level of dominance that this team. That's on November 7th, 2020. That's the last time they lost a regular season game. The streak began November 21st against Mississippi State. They've been rolling along ever since. Going into the 2021 season, they were undefeated. They won the national championship that year. Despite losing to Alabama in the championship game, they still played for the national championship anyway, and they won 33-18. One loss, but they didn't lose in the regular season game in 2021. In 2022, they won back to back. They lose in the regular season. In 2023, they lose in the regular season. So it's been a long time. 4 years they lost in the regular season. I think they're gonna go for the juggler again. Now look at the schedule. They do play against Clemson. They're number 14 country, but I don't think Clemson's as good as it used to be. Okay, they play Kentucky, Alabama. That's gonna be a tough one. Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas. Yes, tough. Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Georgia. I think they're gonna be favoring every game. I like Georgia, man. I just think that team gonna be loaded. I think they're gonna be really good this year. I think they're gonna be hungry. Carson back. I think he's gonna win the Heisman. I think they got a lot of weapons. I'd like Georgia to win that championship. I don't know who they're gonna beat, but I got to win that championship. All right, so let's get quickly to the picks of the week. It's not that many games for week 0. Obviously, got Florida State against Georgia Tech. I like Florida State by touchdowns. They got a new signal caller in DJ Ule. He's very highly touted coming out of high school. He went to Clemson, transferred to Oregon State. Then he now he's with Florida State. So that's part of the transfer portal perspective. Quarterbacks transfer and go team to team. Now they got a new single caller in DJ Euclid. So I gotta go with Florida State. They should win this game in Dublin. Um, Florida State got a chance to win that championship, definitely. So despite having a new quarterback, they won 12 straight games against ACC opponents. They favored by 10.5 points. This game's gonna be in Dublin. So I like Florida State to win this game. This is gonna be the annual Lingus College Football Classic at 12 noon on ESPN. Seminoles are coming off a season which they went undefeated, won the ACC, but they didn't make it to the college football playoff. But good news for Florida State, they can still make it to the playoff because the format is now 12 teams. So see what happens with that. But I got Florida State win that game. Um, Simple as that. Got a new quarterback, DJ Ukulele. Think he's gonna handle his business with them. So I got that. Okay, other games that we played in week 0. Yeah, not that many great games, but you have Montana State against New Mexico. I go with New Mexico to win. New Mexico to beat Montana State. I got SMU over Nevada, and I got Hawaii beating Delaware State. So I got Hawaii winning, New Mexico winning, and SMU winning. Florida State, New Mexico, SMU, and Hawaii to win uh, the 4 games on Saturday to start the season. It's kind of like week 0. You say week 1, but I think it's week 0 to me. Usually that'd be the narrative. Week 0. Call it week 1, but that's where I see it. Yeah, week 0. That's my picks of the week. There's some other games: Norfolk State, Florida A&M, North Alabama, Southeast Missouri State. But those are my picks of the week. I got Florida State winning, New Mexico winning, SMU winning, Hawaii winning. So my picks of the week. So that's it for college football. Quick, let's get into the honest day in sports history. For August 22nd. Let's get into it. I'm gonna get into every event on this day. We're gonna start and just pick and choose, bounce around. All right, August 22nd, 1917, Pittsburgh Pirates played 4 straight extra inning game. Left fielder Carson Bigby sets Major League Baseball record of 11 at bats in 22 innings, 6-5 loss to Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field. Babe Ruth hit his 40th home run on August 22nd, 1927, during his Major League Baseball record 60 home run season against the Cleveland Indians in a loss at Dunfield 9-4. 1946, August 22nd, baseball approves a 68 game schedule, but later rescinds it. Athea Gibson on August 22nd, 1950. Athea Gibson became the first black competitor in the U.S. national tennis competition. In 1951, on August 22nd, Harlem Globetrotters played in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin for 75,052. Rademacher beats Floyd Patterson, Olympic heavyweight champion, boxing champion Pete Rademacher became the first to contest the world title in his first professional bout. He was knocked out by Floyd Patterson in the 6th round, 6th Stadium in Seattle. American Football League officially named at a meeting in Dallas, Texas. Charter members: Dallas, New York, Houston, Denver, L.A., Minneapolis, St. Paul. Baseball record was set by Frank Robinson when he was with the Cincinnati Reds. Hit 3 consecutive home runs, driving 6 RBIs and 11-4 win for St. Louis Cardinals at Crosley Field. Gil Hodges' 1960 on August 22nd hit set an internationally right-handed home run record with 352. Roger Maris hit his 50th home run on August 22nd, 1961 for the Yankees. August 22nd, 1965, San Francisco Giants pitcher Juan Marichal hits LA Dodgers catcher John Roseboro on the head with his bat, causing a 14-minute brawl. August 22nd, 1975, McNichols Sports Arena in Denver opens. Dwight Gooden on August 22nd, 1984, the pitcher of Dwight Gooden of the Mets became the 11th rookie to strike out 200. In 1989, August 22nd, Nolan Ryan strikes out his 5,000th batter, and that was Ricky Henderson. August 22nd, 1994, O.J. Simpson is linked to murder as DNA testing links O.J. Simpson to murder of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. August 22nd, 2007, the Texas Rangers rout the Baltimore Orioles 30-3, the most runs scored by a team in modern Major League Baseball history. I think that's basically it. That's it for some of the events that took place in sports history on this day in sports history for August 22nd. So that's it for the show, episode number 15. Um, check out my article. It's not up yet on e5280sports.com, but I had wrote an article about the 1994 Nebraska Cornhuskers. So check that article out. I don't think it's out yet. No, it's not out yet. Should be out soon. Just talk about that team who has trouble, led by Tom Osborne, was a great coach at the time, trying to win a national championship. Finally, he was able to do it. In 94 beat Miami. Nebraska beat Miami 24-17. Tommy Fraser was the quarterback at the time, Vaughn Phillips and stuff like that. So he was able to finally get off the hump because the year before they fell short in the national championship game, losing to Florida State 18-16. So he finally got over the hump and was able to win the national championship a year later. So I wrote a piece about the 1994 Nebraska Cornhuskers. So that should be out real soon. By the 94 Cornhuskers that won the national championship 30 years ago and became champions finally, especially for Tom Osborne. Because they had so many champions. They was always a powerhouse in the 70s and the 80s, but could never win the championship. So I wrote that article. So check that article out pretty soon on E5280 Sports and E5280sports.com. Check it out. E5280sports.com. Check it out when it goes up. That's it for the show for the night. Got one more show. It may come on the air next Thursday. May do it at a different time. I'll see. But I'm definitely gonna be on the air next Thursday night, August 29th, the final episode in the month of August. Talk about college football. I already did a brief preview of the college football season. Well, I think it's gonna win that championship. I think it's gonna be Georgia. I think Carson Beck will win the Heisman for Georgia. I don't know who's gonna make to playoffs because again, it's a crapshoot. But again, it's going to be definitely an interesting season as far as the 12-team playoff format is concerned. Overhaul of the realignment of the conferences is going to be interesting. So that's it for the show for tonight. Be back next week, next Thursday. Maybe do it at a different time. I'll see. But until then, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Streaming live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This concludes episode number 15 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell that comes on every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Until then, talk to you next time. Next Thursday, maybe at a special time, maybe at the same time at 9 o'clock. I'll see. Until then, talk to you next time. Have a good night.